Hey everybody, it's January 17th, 11:53 p.m. I'm going to do a very short video on nat gas. This is a chart of the last several months, back from the top in the summer where we saw these very large trades come in and the subsequent decline. This trade here was a 1 million share trade that we got on January 5th, so 2 weeks ago. And this one today is the big one, 3.8 million shares. This is the largest trade since 2009. It's been such a long time, it's not even worth showing on the chart. But it is huge. It is the 7th ranked trade in the history of UNG. And while it's only 30 times average size, that's just a function of the amount of the number of trades that this guy gets, the frequency and the size. So this is a broad view. We've had a very, very long multi-month decline. Gas has fallen. I think gas futures were 10 something and now they're 3 something. So it's lost. It's about a third as high as it was. And UNG similarly. This topped in the 32 range. Now we're trading at 11. So it's come quite a long way. If we come and look a little more closely, we can see that this is the trade that came in on the 5th, and this, I think, was covering. I wasn't sure at the time, but the manner in which prices behaved since then, where we got this weak bounce here and then the downtrend continued, suggests to me that this was short covering. So that fits actually with this, because you generally will see short covering come first and then a new low and then the buying begins. So we got short covering, got a pop, came back down, meandered a bit, and then we got the big buy. This is the big buy, and I think this is the low in nat gas for some period of time. Who knows? But I think the decline is over. I think we got the short covering, and then we got the big buy. And that doesn't mean price is going to go straight up from here, but it does mean, in my view, that price is not going to materially decline from this point. So they may keep it flat for a while and accumulate some shares. They may take it straight up. They may take it up, bring it back down, buy some more, do that 2 or 3 times. It's hard to tell. But it does suggest to me that they're done bringing it down, and they brought it a long way. This is this amount of size would make no sense at all as a short at this juncture if you're curious about whether or not this is a short. I mean, anything's possible. I've seen some weird stuff happen, but this, to me, I can't comprehend why anybody would short down here. I think it's a long. Could be more covering though. Maybe we'll get a little bit, a weak rally and come back down. But this is such a huge trade. This I just think it's a buy. So we'll see what happens. With regard to the leveraged ETFs, we had a decent trade in Boyle the next day. So this Boyle trade, 500,000 here, came in at the same time as this million share trade in gas. And I don't know if it was covering or buying. I mean, it makes more sense to be buying just for that pop. But I think this trade is gone now, long gone. It was at 12:30. We got a pop up to 14. They probably sold it up here and let it fall a little further. So haven't seen anything since on on Boyle, and I don't think we probably will. Generally what happens is you get the short covering first, then you get the low in the underlying, then you get the first initial wave off the low, and then on the test you start to see the leverage trades come in. Those are when the strongest moves are about to happen. So if that is the case, we'll see some kind of a move up and then maybe a retrace, I don't know, 50% of the move or some other fib. And that at that point is when I would expect to see a large Boyle trade if in fact they want to really send it. So nothing yet, still a bottoming process. And when I did a video a couple weeks ago, I talked about this. I suggested that the process has maybe begun, that this trade here at the low or near the low equates to this first million share trade up here near the high. We got 3 in a row. Actually, we got 500K, a million, and 972K. So took a little while for them to dump all those shares off. We got a little pop there in the middle of it. Then they started the decline. This guy here was another 500K that they unloaded, and then the decline really took hold. So just like topping is a process, bottoming is a process. I think the process is in swing now. I think this was probably a cover, and I think this was probably a buy. I don't know if it will be the only buy. I don't know if they have intention to buy more. No way to know. No way to know. But it's this is a real eye-opener. So if anything, I would not want to be short gas right here. Not unless something really unusual happens and we see a very sharp decline from here. But I think that's a low probability outcome. We'll see. Gas is really freaking hard to trade. Yeah, but do your best. This is the level I would watch. 1155. Anything materially below that brings us into question. I think this is so large they're going to defend this. If they don't defend it for whatever reason, it's not something I would want to stick around in on the long side until price got back up over that level. But as I look at futures right now, gas futures are up 1.3% on the G contract and 2.1% on the H contract. So it does appear to be, at this juncture at least, a positive reaction to this trade. We'll see. It could easily be right back here in the morning. You never know. Also, KOLD, similar to BOIL. I'm not seeing a lot here. Small trades at these little peaks and troughs. KOLD, same way. These are relatively small. I think this one here on the 4th was, this was ranked in the top 20. So that's the 3rd, that's the 4th. So this looks like they're actually reloading to take it a little lower this day and take gas a little lower. KOLD went up. I don't know. I'm a little bit surprised that I haven't seen a really large KOLD trade somewhere in this zone, because if in fact they are bottoming UNG, I would expect to see KOLD off the books by now. And in fact, let's do this together. We'll just go back to December here and see if we saw them unload any really large KOLD. It's entirely, it's entirely possible that they could have let it out in smaller chunks along the way. So, yeah, I mean, maybe some of this was selling into strength, and then we're in this topping zone here, and then it will come back down. We'll see. Hard to tell. But this is what matters. This is the big guy here. This is the level I'm going to pay attention to, 1155. If for as long as it stays above it, I'm going to treat this as a long and assume that gas is done with the lion's share of this decline. If it breaks below that, it means something else is in progress. Something else has happened. Something has changed. New information has arrived. Who knows what? So 1155. That's what I care about, and by extension, I care a little bit about this 1199 here too. We're trading below this 1199, which another reason I think that this is most likely already out, no longer in play. It was short covering. We got a bounce, came back down. We got the buy here a little lower. That's my read anyway. But anyhow. That's it. Good luck, guys. Gas is a real pain in the neck, but I think this is a very promising sign. This is what I want to see at a low or a bottom. I'm not saying definitively that this is the bottom. I am saying that this trade is consistent with what I would expect to see at or near bottom. Both of these big ones here are. Selling up here, maybe a short. Maybe a short cover, weak bounce. Not sure what this one is, but this is covering and this is buying, I think. Vol profile lines up too. Got a lot of volume here. Got some up here near the high, and got some here where it was in this chop zone for a couple months. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for listening. info@volumeleaders.com if you want to send me a question or find me on Twitter. Thanks for listening. Bye.